way I should be cooking for 5 hours for some man that is fully capable of doing it himself. What are you gonna do, just stand here? I think you should come in here and help me.
I appreciate the fact that you're this strong woman, but think about making some food, okay? Unless you pay some bills around here, you can't come in and tell the Jackster what to do.
Y'all never baked a cake?
No, but I watch shows on it.
Well, watching a show and doing it is two different things. Yeah.
I've never ever baked a cake.
Baking is really bonding for a family. I mean, you can't have a phone in your hand and be baking at the same time. And plus, you get to eat cake.
There we go.
And this, just break them up.
This looks so satisfying.
Surprisingly, even Jason comes downstairs to join the family.
I couldn't believe that my dad was just sitting there without his phone or anything. He was just watching us, supervising us. He was having a good time with us.
The pace of the home is actually, it's a little different right now. Like I say, it's a little slower pace. It's cool to just kind of settle down and do stuff together.
That's garbage. Jack generalizes everything on male or female. He differentiates everything based on what gender you are, and it sucks.
Hey, yo, black man, what's happening? Now, I hope I come across more videos like this about TV shows where, you know, a black man and a white man get to trade places, because that's interesting. I remember growing up, I forgot what the show was called, but, you know, from the early 2000s, where they would actually have this. Damn, what was that show name, dude? But we all know what it was, what I'm talking about, right? We all know what I'm talking about, though, right? Those shows were pretty interesting. Again, now that I'm older, because watching that stuff when you're like 8, 9, 10, 11, don't really make the most sense to you. Now, me being 26, it makes perfect sense. You see the differences automatically, dude. It's so crazy, because it's almost like reading a book and you grab a highlighter to, like, you know, highlight a particular paragraph that you might need, or maybe you're taking notes, and you know what I'm saying? But you can see it because the differences are highlighted, bro. You know what I'm saying? So in the beginning, yo, the white man called himself the Jackster. That was funny to me. But the black woman's talking about there's no reason why I should be in the kitchen for 5 hours cooking for a man who is physically unable to cook for himself. And that's how most of them feel. And again, maybe in the situation where, because I'm not sure if the white man had kids or not, they didn't show them. But if it was just you and her, that's how she feels. Maybe if you guys have children, okay, she'll cook for the children, and you're just lucky enough to get a meal that she didn't, you know, give to the kids already or to herself. But if it's just you and her, black men, oh no, that's the reality. Most black men already, listen, I'm not sure what it is about American black women, but I will say that, listen, me being Caribbean, dude, I watched my mom cook for my dad all the time growing up. My grandmother cooked for my grandfather all the time growing up, on both sides of my family. You feel me? I watched my granddad on my father's side, and my grandfather on my mother's side was already passed away by the time I was born. But my grandmother cooked for us all the time. Again, maybe foreign black women, and I can understand why black men will still choose a black woman, but a foreign black woman, right, who's not FBA, because for whatever reason, black American women, dude, they just give off a bad rep to black women as a whole. I'm not sure what that's about, but they really make black women look bad. And again, even with this gender role switch, or the wife switch, you see that white men aren't used to that, dude. That's why I said most white men, or most non-black men, are not looking to get with a black woman, especially an American black woman. They might go for an African woman. They might go for a Caribbean woman. You feel me? They might go for a foreign black woman, but American black women, most men, non-black, already know what they're about to get into. And again, the man said the Jackster. Now, we all know that white men, right, descendants of European people, they, or their culture is feudalism. Kings, queens, I forgot the ones in the middle. Kings and queens, peasants, and it's one more group I forgot. But most white men, especially in the Americas, are descendants from the peasant class of white people in Europe. It doesn't matter if they're British, Spaniard, or part of the Portuguese or from Portugal. Those are the peasants. But even amongst them, there was still gender based roles. That's why white men still care about that stuff. That's why white men still fight for that stuff, because that's how things have always been within their group, right? I can't speak about Africa because I don't know what was going on during that time period. America did a great job about hiding that stuff from us. But we know that here in America, you can say at one point, yeah, black women used to cook for their man. And, it might be some black women out there who would say, oh no, back in the day, black men used to come home from work, and if I made a casserole or a meatloaf, he'll come in and punch me in the eye. You guys remember that episode of Boondocks where the black man, when Uncle Ruckus talked about his life growing up, and his dad would like beat on him and beat the mom up and stuff like that, and she was wearing her blonde. I don't even believe that stuff. You know what I'm saying? But who knows? It could have been true, right? But you see how once black women got the opportunity to work, and now she's strong and independent. And even the white man said that. He said, yo, I can salute to the fact that you're strong, but a man gotta eat. You feel me? So they feel like, yo, you should pay all the bills and still come home and cook for yourself. So what the fuck do I got you for? And in her case, because white men, that's how they operate. They pay the bills and the woman does the woman stuff. Cook, clean, take care of the children. So you expect me to go to work, deal with the society, deal with the elbows and the uppercuts and the jabs and all of the blows that life plus society plus work plus just random people in the streets are throwing at me on a day-to-day basis, and I gotta come home and cook for myself. Well, I might as well be single. I might as well hire a fucking chef. You see what I'm saying? And then, she's really upset that she has to cook. And then when you look at the other side of the coin, right? You put that white woman in that black household. She is crazy how they adapted automatically. Like the black woman with that white man looked so uncomfortable, but then that white woman with that black man, she got in there and she was baking. Now we all talk about white people, they can't cook, but they can bake. We can all agree to that. And listen, if you ever had white friends growing up, or again, you saw those TV shows growing up, white people always bake. They're always baking cakes, baking cookies, baking pies. They can bake. And yes, I agree to what she said. Baking is an activity that bonds the family together. That's something that I can admit. And again, I had white friends growing up, so going to their households, you see that. Listen, anybody who ever had a white friend, going to their house, listen, especially if they wasn't like a poor white person, right? They always had like some kind of dessert, cookies, cakes, and or pies. Always, mainly for me, I experienced cake or cookies, right? But it's funny, and again, the children were excited, dude. The one little black boy was saying, listen, this is so satisfying to bake this cake. And the white woman, she's enjoying herself. The daughter, she was enjoying herself. The black man enters the room, right? And he was saying how, listen, it's definitely a different vibe, because he mentioned that it's always fast. Well, he said it's slowed down a lot because the pace is a lot slower. But that goes to say that it's always a fast paced life with the black woman, because you're constantly moving. There's no time to slow down. And one point I also want to make, when you're with the black woman who feels like, she had to settle for you because you're not Tyrone or Glocktavius, she's always hyper fixated on money. Oh, gotta make more money, gotta make more money, gotta make more money. She's finding ways to make more money for herself, trying to quote unquote push you to make more money, make more money. because she's looking to take that money from you. It's not about love. I've shown you guys that in the videos of guys getting cheated on. It's not about love. You are her backup plan. You're somebody to use. You're somebody to take advantage of because they don't want to disrupt the balance of things, right? If you allow the black men who you don't want to reproduce with you, if you allow those men into a more position of power in within the structure, it will throw off the balance for black women as a whole because now you have the men who can produce. Now you have the men who can actually create something for black people long term, and it will cause a shift because now black women have to give up the power. Once you see that if you put the right men in charge, right? Because black women control the black community. But if you put the right men in charge, you will see that the community and the group as a whole, we will better over time. We will become more more successful. We will have more successful children. We will have more money within the community, and we can branch ourselves away from being dependent on zaddy government. But again, once you start seeing those changes happen, the government will step in, try and derail us, try and put black women on top. Black women will be mad because they don't have power no more. But then people will have to admit that, yo, having them in charge is the downfall of our race in America. But they don't want to hear that. That's too much of a deep conversation. But again, even the black men realize, listen, I'm spending time with the family right now. We're not on our cell phones. This is a family bonding time. We're baking this cake, right? When I'm with this white woman, why does it feel like the pace of life is a little bit slower? Because she understands her role. That's why I mentioned in one of my videos, women who come from good backgrounds, who are not black, right? They understand the role of being a woman. Again, if you guys ever had Hispanic friends, right? Yo, a Hispanic sister to her brother treats him like almost as good as a dad. She cooks for him, she makes his plate, she cleans for him. You know what I'm saying? Like you get treated good. But that's something that I think black men realize as we get older, right? We realize when it comes to our women, we do the most and get the less. I'm sorry, we get the least out of them. And every other group of men do the least and get the most out of their women. And I'll also say this to wrap it up, right? Because obviously from that video, you know, it came back to the black woman talking about, listen, everything that Jack wanted to do was based on gender societal norms. So again, the man provides and protects. He goes out and work, pay the bills. As the woman, you cook and you clean, you take care of the children. That's something that black women aren't used to, and something that every other group of women are used to, right? So when you come into that picture, black man, it's a healthy balance for you. And for women who do want to date black men who are not black, right? Because you don't come to them with those gender societal norms, because again, black women don't operate like that, it tends to work very well. Again, you're not as demanding, you're not as pushy, you're giving her some leeway, man. You're giving her some room to be herself and adjust. And I think that's so healthy because coming from, they say opposites attract, first of all, but coming from two different sectors where again, why women behave like this and women over here, but that's why I said in one of my videos, when non-black women get with black men, they realize real quick that okay, all I have to do is keep being myself and keep being the way I was being when I was dating men of my own group, because again, black men don't get that from black women. You feel me? Black men don't get that from black women. So when a non-black woman gets with a black man, all you have to do is keep being who you were dating your own group of men. Listen, don't change your hairstyle. Don't go and get braids and hoop earrings. I mean, if that's what you want to, do, I mean, cool, but you don't have to do that because guess what? How you were naturally raised is perfect enough for any black man. You feel me? It's perfect for any black man because you're getting something that's a complete 180 of what you're used to. Same for the women as well. You're used to men not doing anything, or the men of your group not doing much per se, because black men, we've been known to be the most involved with our children, the most romantic, right? We still keep the romance up in the relationship. We're the most involved with our children. Again, we work hard. Like, come on, dude. We know what time it is. So again, I believe it's something that both groups can appreciate. Anyways, I hope I see more of this wife swap type content. Anyways, black men, I'm out. Peace.